I just wanted to do a quick video for a Recone on a Sundown Audio Zv6. The Zv6 has a thinner, I think, top plate. It might be the same, it just might be a different shape so they can more readily identify it. But they went ahead and added a fourth slug. I think it's a full 1 inch, quad stack. The diameter on these is a little weird. It's 245 millimeter. And then they did the aluminum top cap as for a cooling device. You could have also bolted in a Neo ring that's been popular if you wanted to float a paper clip or whatever the fuck. If you look down in there, I don't know if you can see it on this one. You can see it a little bit. There's not enough light. But Ding Dong has a Faraday ring in there. You can see it. But the ID on the magnets probably is going to be 4 inch, which is 100 millimeter. Sometimes they go with 90 millimeter. It just depends on what China has in stock, and then you usually go with that. I'm sure these are at least Y30, if not Y35. Remember that there's no performance difference after you use it a couple times. Even if you buy Y35 magnets, after a couple of heat cycles, it ends up being Y30 anyway, which is why most manufacturers just use Y30 in the first place. It's, whatever. If you want to have bragging rights, use Y35. It really doesn't fucking matter. This was the Recone kit from Directronics. This, if you can tell, the little dots on the side, those are typically cotton. Sometimes they're nylon cord to reinforce the surround to keep it from high pressure. Does it work? Whatever. The first time I saw it was on Pioneer. I think they did it on a couple of their series that was like SPL, even though it wasn't the top end ones. Scott Owens, who was the first one to break 180 decibels, had those subwoofers with that surround in his truck. I think it was a Ford pickup truck with a shell. The surround had those. DC. DC Audio also uses a surround with the reinforced cords within them. It just keeps it from, I guess, distorting or whatever. I mean, does it make it stronger? Sure. It definitely makes it stiffer because just the more material there, it's going to be stiffer. A lot of these will do like a 3-layer. This looks like a 3-layer. See, it looks like a dark layer on top, a dark layer on the back, and then a gray layer in the middle. Some of them will do a multicolored layer, like on this Majestic. They do red on the back, and then you can see black on the front. That is probably just due to supply surplus. It has nothing to do with performance or anything like that. But the Zv6 uses a standard 1mm shim. These are 1mm Teflon sheets that I've cut into shims. I like to use at least 2. You want to have at least 3 points when you're shimming up. So it'd be like 1, 2, and then 3. You can have 4. In this case, it's 2 big ones. Or if that reminds you of your mom, this is where the clit would be. But what you want to do is shim up for 1mm. Make sure your gap is clean. There was a lot of just burnt material in there. They just pushed it too hard. One of the subs was dual 1, and the other one was dual 2. So the dual 1 was pulling twice as much current. And then on top of that, he had everything wired in parallel. So it was fucking up his amp and his electrical. It was just not good. And again, a lot of guys that use it just keep turning it up until they get what they want. You want to be more educated than that, and you want to know and listen for distortion and things that aren't supposed to be there. I think I did the review on the Recone kit. It's fine. Doesn't matter if these are made in China or made by Directronics. They're good. They're fine. They work. I'm not a fan of this frame just because it's not removable, but that's the way Sundown and Jacob designed it, and so that's the way it is. When you ship it, you got to ship the whole big fucking thing. So what we're going to do is lay down a bead of CA. It doesn't have to be black. There is black CA that has tiny micro pieces of rubber in it for shock resistance. It doesn't really work, and it's not applicable in this application. Okay, so it doesn't matter. It may matter in the triple joint, but you don't want to use CA in the triple joint. You want to use epoxy. But that's just, you know, the rules that I've learned, and you can make it out of silly putty if you fucking want. I don't give a shit. So what we're gonna do is lay down a bead. I'm also gonna put a ring. These I had made here in America. This, I have to trim a little section out about that big because the 12-inch premium woofer uses a 9.2 spider landing. It doesn't use a full 10-inch spider landing like the TI frame does. And so, which is fine for a 3-inch coil. It gets a little weird when you get bigger than that, but for a 3-inch coil, it's fine. So we're gonna trim that up, get that measurement. You wanna have it sort of be a little springy and push out towards the edge. You don't really wanna have it come in because you want a nice good surround to go on the outside. And then what we're gonna do is put it on top of this assembly and then under the leads. I'm gonna go ahead and put boots on these just for shits and giggles. It makes it look better. These little rubber boots you can buy from Recoil. You used to be able to get them from Metra as well, but again, Edge Holdings makes for both Recoil and for Metra. So just buy them from Recoil, they're cheaper. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna put the bead of CA down. The Recone kit will go in with the shim, so it'll be centered. You wanna make sure your terminals are lined up with the external terminals. And then before you do the top, don't just ignore the top for now. You wanna flip it up. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it up to put the ring on. And then what we're gonna do is use these are M4. And it doesn't matter if you use a Phillips head or a hex head. I think Sundown uses a hex head. And then I think they come with just a regular split washer. I like to use a star washer just for my OCD. And then even on top of that, still put a little dot of CA on there just to keep it from coming off. I like the star washer better because it provides more tension evenly around the head of the screw, and that keeps it from backing out, but it also kind of bites into there because you want just a little bit of bite so that you get that good metal to metal contact. That's all. Again, most of that is just OCD. The way that they built it in China is fine too. In fact, the one in China, this is the American-made one. Somebody was trying to argue with me yesterday. This is the American-made one. So the way you can tell, see, is they put the sticker where it's assembled in USA, not made in America. Sorry, is that they don't do the bolt holes because it's kind of a difficult process. But it's unnecessary. And like I said, the reason why they do it in China is so they don't have clamp time. You don't have to clamp the woofer and wait. You just bolt it in. It's good to go. In fact, we would love to do a modular system where it bolts onto the surround too, the way that Orion did their Recone kits, but of course Orion doesn't buy enough of them to keep up. They'd rather just have you buy a new woofer, which is kind of a dick move, but whatever. That's the way they want to run their business. So what we're going to do is put in the CA, put the Recone kit in, and then I'm going to use the clamps. I think we can fit 2 per window. 2 per window. I'm going to spray it with the accelerator and then let it sit overnight, or at least for a couple hours before I come back and touch it. And then what I'll do is I'll go around this surface with a bead of CA, flip the surround down, and then put the clamp ring on it. I had these clamp rings made a little bit ago. I like to use the fancy acrylic one for some of the higher end stuff and like the GONZO cones, just because sometimes stuff sticks to these and it fucks them up. But personally, I think it clamps a little harder, a little better. And then we'll do, I think it's 16 clamps on top, and then we'll let it sit overnight. We'll test it tomorrow. Should test fine. And then be aware that you don't want to cut this down, even though it looks like it was actually cut already. But Sundown has been known to run the leads all the way up to the top. And so if you cut and trim this, it will cut the leads and you're kind of fucked. It's fixable, but it's difficult. So what you want to do is not trim this down, and then like I said in the other review video for the Directronics end of it, they did not include an inner cap. I'm going to do a 3-inch, I think it's 3 1/4, 3.5. I forget where I did with them. I like these ones. These are actually real dust caps, but they're paper. They're treated on one side, and then I laminated a pair of them. Let's see if they fit over that. Nope, I gotta go bigger. We'll do a 4-inch. Let's see. I think these guys work. So, but you want to do something, I think these are a little bigger. You could even do this one. I use this on the concept ones. Let's see. I don't like that one either, even because it hits on the inside. It's actually touching this, and so sometimes if you don't adhere it firm enough, it'll vibrate, and so you don't want it to vibrate. So we're going to do this one, which does cover it. Not feeling any. You can feel if it has back pressure against it, so hopefully it'll be really nice. And then we're going to go. You can see the indent where the like I said, the petty move of not including a genuine branded Sundown dust cap. Like, okay, you don't want to advertise for your brand? Go for it. Or you just, oh, here it is, I found it. No, that's not it. Theirs is uglier. Theirs has a bigger lip. That's the knockoff one that I ordered from China, which probably is the same. But anyways, oh, here, yeah, because here's the original. It has a bigger lip on it. You can just kind of tell. So, but I'll put this one on it. See, it works fine. And it doesn't hit the inner cap. So, and then this one you just do E6000. You want to put down a nice bead here, and then you just kind of want to graze this so there's good adhesion. Let's put on the second one just to make sure it doesn't touch. Sometimes it gets a little thick. No, it's good. It doesn't hit. And then that'll be it. So again, today the live stream starts at 3 o'clock Arizona time. Come live stream with me, Q&A about my jailhouse vacation. I actually recommend it to everybody. We'll talk more about that. I love you guys. Thank you for your support.